Hello everyone. I don't know why my voice came out that way. What's wrong with it? Hey everyone, Soundwave 84 here with my top 10 Siege figures of 2019. First off, I'm going to say Happy New Year's Eve, because that is when I'm making my video, and Happy New Year's to everybody who might watch this on the next day, so on into the new year. So I'm going to preface my video real quick that I have a top 5 worst or most disappointing Transformers of 2019 video up already on my channel. I will link that down in the description below so you can watch that video as well and see what figures I was actually disappointed in the new year. Well, disappointed in the past year. So before I get into the meat and potatoes of my video, I'm going ahead and mention a few things. So if you're not a subscriber but you're watching my video, don't forget to hit this little button down here and click subscribe and become a subscriber to my channel. And also while you're doing that, don't forget to click that little bell notification icon so you can be notified of all my future videos. Also, if you like the video, don't forget to hit a thumbs up and give me a like and leave a comment down below. Now, even if you're displeased with my top 10, I know top 10s are hard and everybody has their own opinion. You can always leave your choices down in the comments below and let me know what your top 10 Siege figures are of 2019. Now, also, I'll go ahead and give my rules for this video. To be in my list, the figure did not have to actually come out in 2019. I just had to purchase it in 2019. Of course, most Siege figures came out in 2019. We had a few come out at the very end of 2018, and most of them made my top 10 list for the previous year. So you always check that out too. And before I get into my actual top 10, I'm going to go ahead and I have 2 honorable mentions that just really missed this list. So really it's the top 12, you say. I'll say this one here, Generation Selects Red Wing. It is one of the Seekers, and I think the mold looks best on this guy. Just the colors, I think everything on this guy is just excellent, and I really love the look on him. I think him, Skywarp, and Thundercracker wear this mold the best. Another honorable mention I have, and shockingly he didn't make my top 10, Siege Ratchet. Excellent remold of Ironhide. They actually took all the stuff and added more details, so everything is not similar to Ironhide. He transforms the same way, has a few pieces that they actually share. The rest of it is actually remolded and looks totally different. But he's one of the other figures that is very well done, and I really love this Ratchet. Ironhide's nice too. He's got some QC problems. So now we're going to get into my top 10 list here. Coming in at number 10, we have the Refractor 3-pack. I'll call them Reflector, you can call them Refractor, call them what you want. Now this is the one from Hasbro Pulse that they are actually colored to match closer to the original G1 toy, and not the G1 cartoon. You probably can see the legs of my Siege cartoon style ones up here. Now, this camera here comes with more bits and pieces. It comes with a grip, a little button, more stuff stylized. It comes with this top piece here, it puts out like a little viewfinder, and then of course you had your flash right here. And also the pieces here came with the original refractors, but now they're colored black instead of being a cheapish looking silverish gray. Also with this, you did get this Crimzeek. We got a little Crimzeek. So that is cool, an extra little piece. They didn't have to include it. He has no connection whatsoever to this guy. But this is a nice little add-on bonus for people who like to collect obscure Transformer characters. Crimzeek! Okay. Coming at number 9, Crosshairs. People are like, you didn't put Ratchet, you chose Crosshairs. Yes, I did. I love the look of this guy. Now, he is a straight-up Ironhide redo. It's a different color plastic. The only thing they remolded was the head sculpt, but that head is a thing of beauty. It looks like he just stepped straight out the cartoon with that head. I love it. I love the blues, the reds, the whites, the blacks. All the colors on him look great. I have a soft spot because my G1 Crosshairs was one of my most played with Target Masters, and he's probably one of my favorite. I just don't know why. I love the G1 figure. I love this figure, and I even gave him his little this guy came with a G2 Sideswipe in Siege, and it belongs to him. It's not called Pinpointer in Siege. I can't remember what they called him, but that's Pinpointer. So this is my number 9 choice. Both of them are really good. The joints are tighter on him, whereas my Ratchet, his hips are a little bit looser, but they look good. Can't go wrong with either. Now, come at number 8. Now, this mold landed in my top 5 worst or most disappointing figures, but that was on Prowl. This one is on Smokescreen, and I actually like the mold on Smokescreen the most. I think he wears it really good. I think it's the colors. I don't know, it's kind of like Crosshairs. I think I like the blues and the reds. But I love the head sculpt. You know, Barricade and Smokescreen are the exact same figure, just different colors. Even got the same heads and everything. But I got some upgrades here on him from Matrix Workshop, new gun and new shoulder cannons. Makes him a little more G1, and I like the look of Smokescreen. I think him, Barricade, and Blue Streak wear this mold really well. Again, I'm not a big fan of this mold, but I think in this mold it looks good, and the playability is nice, and the fast transformations are always good with these guys. So that's one thing. One of my qualifications to be a good figure and make my top 10s, the amount of times I will pick them off the shelf and fiddle with them means I like that toy. Now, the little Transformers are always easier to pick up and fiddle with than the larger Transformers. That's why a lot of times I always overlook the larger Transformers when I make these top 10s. So I kind of got a little distracted here, but let's go ahead and move on to number 7. And that would be Siege Shockwave. Now you can see here I got some add-on pieces from Deep Space Arsenal. He's holding a little shockwave gun so he can play with himself. Now the light piping on this guy is phenomenal. He's probably the best representation of G1 Shockwave in a deluxe, or as a Voyager, of a affordable price point, not counting masterpiece going on over there, or third party. He looks really good. Yeah, I know he's got problems being leader class, but being a price point, being a Voyager class figure with add-on pieces. But this Shockwave is phenomenal. Articulation is excellent. He looks so good on my shelf, and he's one of the ones I like to pick up and play with. And he has that hidden gun mode you can do and everything. And of course, he has himself to keep himself entertained. Coming at number 6 is the 35th anniversary versions of Optimus Prime and Megatron. I couldn't choose between them. I kind of want to put them both on my list, but I think they're about equal. I'm going to talk about Prime first real quick. Now, the original Siege Prime made my list of best toys of 2018. I don't remember. I think he was first. This is probably the best versions of Optimus Prime. Now, we have Earthrise coming out, so I want to see that. But he looks really good. I like the classic animation colors, the whites and everything. The only thing I'm probably not too keen on the figure, when I first saw him in package, I didn't really care for the cell shading. I thought the cell shading looked awkward or just overly done. After getting him out, it looks better. A lot of things are like that. It looks better in hand, even when it's in the package. But you take it out and actually hold it and fiddle with it and look at it closer, it looks better. And that's the case with this Optimus Prime. I didn't really care too much for him in package, but after getting him out, I really like the look of him. And the only downside of my Prime is he's got like a loose head here. He really spins around really loose and freely, but otherwise it's excellent done, and I really like it. Now, talk on to the Megatron. Put Prime down, knock his blast effect out. I got from Grimlock's Forge. Got all these third-party add-on here. I think he looks so much better than pick him up. The original Siege Megatron that came out. This one looks totally fine. This looks so much better. I guess it's the cell shading. His cannon here is also from Deep Space Arsenal. If you want to see that, that's another add-on I got. Which is also this thing up here. It was original on him. I took it off and added it to him. Just gave him a more G1 cartoon look. And I think it fits well. I know the colors don't totally match, but it kind of matches a little bit with the shins going on here. But I think the look, he looks really good. And also, this version here fixes some problems that were on this one. This one here had that weird ankle where you could do it and you couldn't get it to go back in, and the head just really freely goes in that chest cavity. Whereas on this one, that pops out, pops right back in, and this is very, very tight. So this version is so much better than the original Siege Megatron version. Alright, now the top 5 of my top 10. Starting at number 5 is Mirage. He is an excellent figure. One of my favorite G1 Transformers Mirage. I had that toy. I played the hell out of it. And eventually he just splits in half at the waist. You know what I'm talking about. The original G1 toy Mirage. This one here, this reeks of the cartoon in robot mode. And the robot mode is what sells this Mirage. The vehicle mode is kind of, in the rear end, is kind of iffy because they kind of fake this chest. And he's got the other chest is actually in the back of his legs. The front of the car is actually there, but they're trying to fake it here. But he looks really good. I really do like the look of him, and you know, he doesn't transform exactly because he's got the spoiler here for the arms instead of the sides of the car. But he's got some upgrades here from Matrix Workshop. He's holding a gun and a new shoulder cannon. It's not the stock that came with the actual Mirage, but he just looks so good, and I just really like the look of him on the shelf. And he's a little bit more fiddly to actually transform into that vehicle mode, but overall he looks so good. Coming in at number 4, I got a bias here. Siege Soundwave. I think this is probably one of the best looking iterations of Soundwave from G1 that we've gotten. The G1 toy was excellent. This one here, no, it doesn't have die cast. The cassettes that go inside are kind of, they should have probably been on my part of my most disappointed lists. Laserbeak's awesome. I'll give you that. Ratbat's not bad, but he's excellent. The light piping this guy is excellent. Articulation's excellent. He looks so good. Yes, he doesn't transform into a tape deck. You can do it. It's there. You know, I think someone even sells a kit to be able to make you do it even better. I think Shockwave's. I'm not positive on that. It's not holding on that, but he looks really good. And even his Sound Blaster form from the 35th line, the light piping is excellent. I know people have been switching the red visor out of here and putting it into this, which would be even more cartoon accurate. This is more toy accurate with a yellow visor, but both these molds are excellent versions, and I would recommend picking up either one. They're really, really good. And of course, my channel being called Soundwave 8084, you know he's going to make my list. Alright, so coming in at number 3 is going to be Siege Jetfire. He's got some, he's done it up in his more toy-like version here. He's got upgrade antenna from Matrix Workshop on. He's an excellent robot mode. He would be higher up on my list if it weren't for a few QC problems. The little things that bug me. His wrist here easily pops out, and that bugs me. The ankle tilts are kind of a pain. It's just, you know, I prefer him in his cartoon look, and that's why he'll probably be. But he's got good playability with the other figures. He's got things when he transforms into his jet mode, they can hang off of him, he can land with. He's a very, very nice figure. He has some ingenious transformation steps to how the head collapses. He's really, really good figure, and he'd probably be number 2 if it wasn't for some of the things that just bug me about it, and just the wrist and some of the other tabs and the way it just rubs me wrong. But he is an excellent version of Jetfire. You know, you can always take all this other stuff off and make him look. Now this is the look I'll probably have him in. Open up his chest and you gotta close his back. Let's tap his chest piece on. He looks really good. Almost like you're holding a masterpiece figure in your hand. Alright, coming at number 2. This one might be controversial, I don't know. It is Siege Astro Train. Again, with the price point of liter versus what size they actually are in your hand. He is a true Voyager. He's actually, I think, even shorter than Soundwave. But he looks so good. The robot mode sells this for me to like Mirage. But even this train mode, in my opinion, is not bad. Even the shuttle mode is not bad, even though the back does look unfinished. It's probably the biggest eyesore of the whole figure. But he, in your hand, he is probably the most quality Voyager Transformer I've ever felt. He feels hefty compared to like Soundwave. Soundwave is very light. You pick this guy up, you can tell there's a weight difference. He's got, he misses out on some articulation with his wrists, but he is excellently done. He's got articulation. He's got the looks. He's really good. Even the little extra piece. I know. I would even say he's not worth the $50, but this is the best iteration of Astro Train I own. Until Fans Toys makes their Thomas, this is probably the best looking Astro Train I've seen. It scales so good with the other figures, it makes me want for a new Blitzwing and Octane, because this figure here is so excellently done. He's just really good. Yeah, if you get this guy on sale, I'd recommend picking him up. And if you have $50 to burn, I'd recommend picking him up. I'm picking him up right now. Bad joke. So number 1 on my list, it kind of goes against my grain of thinking for figures being ones I can just pick up and play with. My number 1 is going to be Omega Supreme. He's got gappy hips. I know that. That's probably the biggest eyesore looking at the figure. He's not perfect, but he's got playability. He looks really good. He's got ankle tilts. He's hefty. He's big. He's bulky. He's got an excellent big rocket, which is one of the things that he's probably my wife's number 1 too on the list. He looks good, and from all angles. Yeah, that's probably the best angle right there, right? Yeah. But I mean, he's a nice figure. He's not Fortress Maximus or Metroplex height, and I wouldn't want him to actually be. I want him to scale with my Combiner Wars Devastator, and that's what he does. He accomplishes that. I mean, he's got weapons hidden out. He disappoints in some things. I wish he was motorized tank and stuff like that. You feel like going from Metroplex to this, paying more for this than you did for Metroplex, but you're getting a smaller figure, no electronics. But you feel like maybe a letdown, but I think the overall plastic quality and things that he does actually is better. And he comes with lots of accessories. It comes with Countdown, which is probably one of the best Micromasters of the whole disappointment of Micromasters. So, I mean, he's an excellent figure, excellently done. He's very nice. He's a good boy. Who's a good boy? Right. But yeah, he's got good light piping as well. The only biggest problem is probably this, in my opinion, that should be red. His eyes should be blue. Just certain little things here or there that I would have changed. But he is an excellent figure and one I'm happy to put at number 1. Now, he's not something I pick up and fiddle with a lot because he's so big. And I'm probably just going to leave him in robot mode. But when I do handle him, I am impressed when I handle him. So that's why I put him at number 1. He was originally going to be towards like number 7 on my list, but I just went and bumped him to number 1 just because after I held him around and played with him for a little bit, I was like, even in robot mode, I can see the joy you could get doing things with this guy. And that's why I bumped him up to number 1. Now, I might feel different in the morning, but just after messing with him today, that he ended up going from number 7 to number 1 in my top 10 list of Siege figures. So that tells you something. So that's my top 10 list. Like I said, I usually don't mess with putting these big guys in my top 10s. I think like Metroplex and Fort Max, none of them ever made any of my top 10s. And I feel like I've done it wrong putting him number 1 because my thing of a toy is something I can grab and play with. And being so huge, it's hard just to grab and play with. But holding him and messing with him, like I said, really impressed me. And those are probably my top 10 Siege figures right there. I'll probably make 2 more lists. I'll probably do a top studio series, and I'll probably do a top overall action figures, or just toys of 2019. I want to say thanks for watching. Until the next one. Peace out.